Good morning, boys and girls. So, yesterday we started on our I can picture. Today we are going to label and then we are going to preview our writing. That means before we start writing words on our paper, we're going to go over how our words should look. So, first labeling, and then we'll go over how our words should look. All right, let's get started. So here's my picture of I can crochet. We're gonna label. That is me. So the label I'm gonna put there is me. If I don't know how to spell we, I can look at my word wall. You all have your own word wall. I have a big one right here. So I'm going to look at my word wall and find me. Me. Ooh, me starts with M, so I gotta look for M. M. Oh, here's M. Now I'm gonna pick up me. Here's me. I'm gonna look at me and use it to help label myself. M-E, me. M-E, me. So now I have labeled myself, me. All right, what are some other things I can label? My sentence is, I can crochet. That's what I'm showing. So I need to make sure I'm labeling the things that make sense, the things that pertain to what I'm reading. So what I'm writing about. I'm writing about crocheting, so I need to label all the stuff I use for crocheting, yeah? So I can label my action, which would be crochet, or I can label all my items. I think I am going to put crochet and label my yarn, all right? So, let's get started. Oh no, I don't know how to spell crochet. Crochet is not a word on my list either. Do you know what I could do? I could sound it out. I could say it real slowly and look for that first sound. So let's try. Crochet, 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 crochet. Is the first sound. That letter is C. So I'm gonna write it right here because that's where my hands are. Crochet, crochet. Ooh, that's a lot. It's a long word. I can't hear any more sounds yet because we're still working on middle sounds and end sounds. So is it okay if I just put my C? Yeah, it is okay. So I'm gonna leave that as C. I'm gonna move on to labeling my yarn. Yarn is, again, not on our word wall. So let's sound it out. Yarn. 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 Y is the first sound in yarn. Y makes that sound. So I'm going to write Y next to my yarn. Crochet and yarn. That's what I'm going to label because that is me crocheting. That's what my writing is about. I can crochet, yeah? If we add more to our words, which we will talk about tomorrow, I can add more to my picture, right? I'd add more to my picture and more to my words. And then I could do more labeling. But for right now, those are the important things that I'm writing about. So that's what I'm going to label. All right. Our next step, which we are going to do tomorrow, is to write our words. Remember, What are we writing about? Are we writing about something we like? No. So not I like. We're writing, oh, I can. Something we can do. So our sentence up here on the lines is going to start, I can. So tomorrow we are going to write, I can. Before we start writing, I want to make sure that you know what your writing is supposed to look like. So we are going to start a 5-star writing chart. This chart will give us tips on what our writing can look like or should look like, and we can refer back to it. That means we can go back to it, look at it, and make sure that we have done all those things so that our writing is good, so that our readers can read our writing. All right, so let's start on that 5-star chart. Here is our 5-star writing chart. It says at the top, 5-star writing. So let's look at our first star. This is our first star. It says, first letter capitalized. That means when we write a sentence, the very first letter we write needs to be a tall letter. Not a short letter, not a small letter, a big one, okay? And I know Miss Davenport has been going over that with you, the small letters and the big ones, okay? So the first letter in our sentence needs to be a big one. So I'm going to show you that. My sentence is going to be, my dog is little. So I'm going to write that, actually, I'm going to write it in blue. My dog is little. I'm going to draw an arrow showing that I capitalized my first letter. So I'm going to take my black and point to my first letter. My first letter is M. Did I make that a big letter or a small letter? I made it a big one because we capitalize the first letter in every sentence. The next star is finger spaces. Finger spaces, okay? We make sure there's a finger space between every word, because if there's not a space, our words blend together and it looks like one really big word with like a million letters, and it makes it hard to read it. Really, we aren't able to read it. We won't be able to read it. So we need to make sure there's spaces in between our words. For that, we can use our finger. Let me show you. This sentence is going to be, I like puppies. So first, I, and you guys know how to spell I. Oh, you know what? I want to write this in green. How about green? I and it's capitalized. Like, and this is one of your snap words, L-I-K-E. Like puppies. Oh, you know what? Let's go back a little. I like. Is there a space there? Yeah, I can use my finger. So if I put my finger here, here's I, finger space, and then like. I'm going to actually put a drawing of my finger right here so you can see the finger space. Now, I like, before I write puppies, I'm going to put my finger right here and then start writing. So I know I'm not putting it too close to like. When I put my finger here, I'm not going to the left of my finger, I'm going to the right of my finger, because we read and write from the left to the right. So I put my finger down when I start puppies, the word puppies, because I'm writing I like puppies. So P-U-P, and there's a lot of P's in this word. Others. You see how I did my finger space? All my words will have finger spaces in them so that my readers can read it. So where's my other? There it is. So I'm going to put a finger right here so you can see where I put my finger space. All right. Uh-oh. I forgot my period. We're not going to go over periods quite yet. But I forgot my period, so I'm going to add that. The next chart is neat handwriting. If our writing isn't neat, then our readers cannot read it. So we need to make sure we are doing our best work in writing our letters. If it takes a long time, that's okay. Then it takes a long time. We need to try our best. So I'm going to show you, and this time I'm going to use purple. When I draw the letter I, the word I, it's a big I. So I need to make sure it touches the top. So I'm going to the top line, making my line. My middle line goes all the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom. So it starts at the top, goes all the way to the bottom. I do my finger space, and then I write the word can. I need to make sure my C touches the middle line and the bottom line. It shouldn't be floating in the air because it doesn't have wings. It doesn't fly. So I'm going to make sure it touches the middle line and the bottom line so that it's not flying in the air. Same with my A. I need to make sure it touches the middle line and the bottom line. And the N. It's touching the middle line and the bottom line. Finger space S. Again, these are lowercase letters, small letters. And most of our small letters touch the middle line and the bottom line. We got to make sure they touch both. Otherwise, they may be flying in the air. And our letters don't fly. They don't have wings. So make sure they are always touching the bottom. Otherwise, they are flying in the air. And if it takes you a long time, that's okay. You'll get faster the more you do it. I've had a lot of years of experience. That's why it's easier for me. It may be a little more time consuming for you, so it may take longer. That is okay. What's important is that it is neat and you are doing your best work. So there you go. Very neat work so that you can read it and your readers can read it. All right, so tomorrow when we write I can, we're going to make sure it does all these things. The first letter is capitalized. There are finger spaces, and our letters and words are nice and neat for our readers to read. Okay, so thank you for tuning in for today. I will see you tomorrow.